Omampenya nemu issue here. President recalls Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, and essentially, Nadia Omampenya can say, Honorable Baba, His Excellency Baba Jamal, Nejuma as Ghana Ambassador to High Commissioner to Nigeria, based on Neomana Akoso Ayawaso East constituency. The basis really, then say, Owini. The primary no anase the allegations of vote buying no India, which was with me pacho.
Oh, the edit I know. So we the primary side is not an offense. When you're going to be anti, we know election was. So we really primary.
Yes.
Number two, it's important to clarify here. Say there's no law. Some no kasi. You see, High Commissioner being say they pray internal primaries of a party. And also, what contested parliamentary election. Now, we need parliamentary election of the MPDR. And we say, or the Juma High Commissioner, Ambassador, not too. You can raise questions about propriety, but you are the lawyer. You know that there's no law that bars that kind of context. Yes. No, in itself is not an offense.
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
But, I'm saying now, anyway. And I'm saying, private personal and the Abia Koswa in
yes.
I find say Sike and Yamatibia. It's Yamra a total Kedimani Tibiania memoirs. Now, Penopose opening to the Masibian for into Mampeni Mahama. Oh, Yakotua, but not to Ghana, who say a bar a memoir. A beshe, I'm a paper and Uncle Boy Juma. Make us say your oral in Penipua, a baby woman, baby a chairman, or you have to be someone somewhere, a big crowd of courts for various offenses.
Yes.
If they are happening, in Trajana, it's Yamrana, a bitch in Yapo, a memoir. Old make us say, Nipa, A.D. Sergimano, said your men the party for anatomy and appointee, you know, on the necessary. Until Lydia or bitch in Yayano, and if a betchin panasso. And not the two just a year near Minia, Baba Jamal. If some can be also say, why did you exercise? Into no on Friday did the unknown to a High Commission. Now, it's here not a Jemubu or SCA, get to me. And I know I say party, no, actually, my son could be almost saying, if I'm a young in theatre and my first meeting.
Sure.
I stand to be corrected, but
that's true.
I'm getting.
That's true.
And your friend OS so and say no. If you are for the other say or yes, you should need after when you be a person.
Yes.
So it was in response to allegations of vote buying, any union or media. It's here electoral loss into Mampeni to Zanamon.
But which should have come first? Because as you said, now a allegations for now. Ain't if the president will make that move, say we're recalling a high commissioner based on allegations, would that not breach the fundamental rules of natural justice in this case? Because up until that time, Baba Jamal had not been heard, unless Ebi Omampeni need in Komo, Emma Omampeni was satisfied, say indeed, on a yes, had you know. Is that what happened?
Oh, of course, yes, to me, one for our Brian Seneca, and that is not what President Mama has done. But I think that there's sufficient basis on the evidence of the who, you know, to demand or require a certain kind of action. But as to whether he is guilty of the offense or not, it is only fair. Says you comply with the demands of natural justice, then you give me a hearing. And that is precisely why the party is going to look into the matter. The first thing, special prosecutor, so
yeah.
But I think there are times, which will also the ACOS even pending further investigation on any necessary judicial process. You can take some action. I mean, it sends a certain signal. Say in the area of what they are, and you have to move plan. It's a bit one of them, and that is exactly what has happened.
If the investigations establish, say, what happens?
Well, that would mean that he has been cleared by a proper investigative committee.
Yes.
As to what happens next, they are maintaining the bachelor if he is willing to recall him, reinstate him, and not obey the decision. But the point is that say special prosecutor in who's
yes
party committees in who's and then I think that he will work a free man.
He will work a free man. Growing perception, whether real or imagined, say when you take the NDC party establishment, they seem to be on a coalition course with the seat of the president, which is the presidency. Me just say what they were so to form what is answer me so we say party it take a position against the presidency anyway into as a friction be or term any other. You may have heard that. What do you make of it, Felix?
I first of all maintain that.
Okay.
And I don't think there's even basis for science as a canon. It is not unusual for people to speculate in this regard. In fact, party BIBD or minus should be a suffered that population. Like I said, I want Anthony Kufuor president. There was a time he was, in fact, at the year necessary, say Obesia MPP delegate to speak to them. A whole of time, as someone said, so we a messenger or a bemwa, a yes, and so they your friend saying.
General Secretary,
that is where that thing came from. And at the time, when I'm for the party because on your there was some friction and they were no it is usual speculation in Ghanaian politics and governance circles. But as I speak to you, I'm not aware of any friction. Mamenka said, a party chairman and general secretary of NDC. They attend cabinet into major decisions about V0te, they are part of the deliberation. If there was friction, I'm not sure that they will be invited to cabinet to take part in deliberations concerning how to govern the country. So
yes.
I also know of regular interactions between the leadership of the party and the president. They have access to the president. So we all have very good relations. Many a minister and now I'm many party general secretary. And your chairman, General Mosquito, because we have that cordial relation. So there's really no friction. Except say once we are coming to government, which will be it's very compassionate.
Yes.
It will be actually said in reality, also no
sure.
And I say, Obia also did be Sabeka. Naturally, it breeds a certain level of, if you like, and so to me, the Kasaba say, will be fool and I say, but those things are very normal in our politics, and then the SRC, and then also the but it does not really affect the way that the country is governed. So there's really no risk.
Those who have made that argument have cited 2 or 3 instances. Number one,
give me the instances.
Number one, the General Secretary recently condemned or Moana calling for a 3rd term for John Mahama, calling them sycophants. And the people thought it was a direct swipe at the presidency. Number 2, recently, party, the neck and the neck of the party say we a government appointed up so running for party officer 6 months to time was do a juma eto. Some appointees feel say it's a slap on their face because Omufi said they are being unnecessarily targeted by the party. I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary of the party, said, was the president, who is the leader of the party, aware? And did he approve that decision? I mean, when to me, I'm a direct answer or coin cycles, Anna, Ujaito, and it was obvious the president didn't approve that decision from in command in AD, Some feel say these instances nature say all is not well between the party and the presidency.
Let's examine the 2 instances. Any time, say one thing that the Asom and Billy Mama say, in fact, the Mama has explicitly denied it, and the law, he was actually in a meeting with the president of Singapore. Now it would be, that was Singapore. And so he said it on an international platform.
Yes.
Yes. So he has put it on record. So on what basis is anybody going to suggest say on a person or contest and say General Secretary Kase Omwa, and then I'm going to answer. But then indeed, there are people who have said those things.
Sure.
But the people are free to say what they want. So I'm asking. Obi, me say Obi, me say 2024, and I 28 about who the president to be. It is my view about you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I won't obey it.
Sure.
You understand me?
Sure.
Aha. But if there are others who are saying that propagating it, that's a general situation. Say, well, let us papa. It's Yinchaswa. Meaning how that constitutes a friction between the party and the government. If it were the case, say President Mama, I declare intentions of a contest, and I just said to you, then you can talk about friction. But what is the basis for the friction? Because the General Secretary has called out Nipebi as the man who is president has said, you have to be the so there's nothing to have friction about. Number two, the party guidelines back. Now or say, we appointee of government now person could do the bill party more. We put that for we should be and place about one. Again, it is not new. And what the for Ghana memory. He caused about 7 or so ministers in his government to resign a year to the election because they wanted to contest the MPP primary.
Yes.
Yes, so it is not unprecedented. The party believes, in order to create a level playing field, so that Obi are abusing the position towards contesting the party position. And also, Obi answer a bias mediation is an Anton Chayan pre Dibia. Now, which means the focus of corporate our party Dibiana, and means to know resign 6 months to election. How does that constitute friction between the party and the people in government? I think it's a fair proposition. So we are office holder. You resign within a reasonable time, and so on have to praise. Otherwise, you'll be conflicted.
Yeah, but because it involves appointees of the president.
Yes.
And the president being leader.
The president are bound by party guidelines.
I get you.
Yeah, the PA, may appointee of the president.
Yes.
I don't know parliamentary seats in 2028. I will have to go by the party guidelines. Except that in my case, the law does not require you to resign. Because in parliament, you can be a minister and be an MP.
Yes.
So that one doesn't arise.
Yes.
But if I was the CEO of an entity and any other office holder outside of a ministerial way, I'll be required to resign. It is only fair. It makes sense. How does saying that and after developing these guidelines constitutes a rift between the party and how does it target anybody? It doesn't target anybody.
Yeah, but these are.
Let me also add.
Okay, Felix.
Even assume you said there was a disagreement.
Yes. Yes.
Between the party and government in terms of policy position, and I say how to set the line. That is not a bad thing. Because I have been in government. 2 ministries have disagreed on policy before. That in itself is not bad. It only means that we are thinking about how to develop our country, how to run governance properly, and at the same time maintain a strong and healthy party.
Yes.
But to say because the general secretary of the party has said this, things that you and I can attest to say, they are sound and reasonable. There is friction. I don't get it, to be honest with you. And in any event, it has really nothing to do with I also West. I also East
in sense. But not me, Busa say, because these are appointees of the president, helping the president to prosecute his agenda for Ghana. Some of these appointees were drawn from the party. Direct party executives or Mampenyi Power. If the party is going to take a decision, which decision may deprive the president of these people, of the use of human resource we are? You think the president should not be a critical part of that decision?
But why do you agree to say the president is unaware of it? So where is that authority coming from? But the president come and tell you, sir.
No, but I told you, sir, many general secretary of the deputy general secretary didn't come. I asked him a direct question, say, on the day the decision was made, was the president in attendance at NEC or say no? Did the president approve of that decision? He couldn't give an answer.
But it doesn't mean that the president was not aware. The president doesn't have to attend a NEC meeting to be aware of the party decision. But you see, the point is that as a party, we operate according to rules. Right? If the party chairman, regional secretary, each member in cabinet to deliberate over some of the most important policy decisions about we take here.
Yes.
Why should it be difficult for the president to be party to a party decision? The president doesn't need to come and tell you, say, that is what happened. If the regulations as have been set out by the party general secretary were unfavorable,
yes,
were illegal, or were inimical to the interest of the party, you would have heard clearly, retort and answer rebuttal. But nothing of the sort has happened. Number two, I don't even see how complying with the guidelines of contested party position with an 6 months to the time law can constitute deprivation of the president of Sani panel services. Omanpenini Epau said the minister, and I believe the behavior.
Yes.
Your primary responsibility is to focus on that job. So you leave and then you go and do it. What mean you never doing at the same time? But of course, practically, there have been people who have been co-opted from the party to serve in critical positions.
Yes.
You find that in most instances, almost any one you see are not their deputies, because practically it is not possible to be a minister and say a high-level government official and hold
still do party work,
position which requires intense work, day-to-day work.
Yeah.
In fact, there are many of those who themselves have declared intense contest because they know the workload that they carry.
Yes.
It will not permit the fence sufficient attention to be paid to the party position as well.
Yes.
So that in itself is not an issue. So a personal decision, and I make it say I want to retain my position in government or I want to serve the party. You make that position, but say you have to comply with guidelines in itself does not constitute a rift at all.
Very well, Felix. My say I thought say with.
Minia mamena wase honorable Felix Kwakye Ofosu ono na yete nka no eye pa se waba out na be create some issues concerning Baba Jamal sense mi ya ekosu yi omu se na nse we are politicians, some of them behave no ebeye kakra no ye democracy aye bo humba no minia inioma ebeje nsam sisi ya no kwakoye se uni sika ewo Ghana memu hana se wo se fatampo se wo ye MP wo ye MCE ene ho kroneba untumi enye because now we don't have democracy again, we are having moneycracy. And sometimes I don't blame the politicians alone. We the citizens, because a constitutional right say obetuaba. In semrene do say kona kotuaba na wasi obi ema okeska obi chewadi ansa na watu abano. Na onkotu ata na ufie. Obi she say kona kotuaba na say bibisa. What you say? Ebeye se uyo mind pa obetuaba de. But men kan tire politician bi say o ma usika ansa na wakwakotuaba no. Na se sani pa no disika no ema na se omini a ede be ade e na wogidi se sani pa no obeye se be hwan na okokodi dwa se obeboka nti ede sani mo na hye ya dwimu ema sisi ya premises bi kura be koso a na obi e na adwen se be ni kokoo aso oba beti ni kokoo delegates no omo adwen a no in dissipate bi okura na constituency bi MPB eko on oppose a delegates no enye omo de omo pese de bia competition eba se ne be ya se be omo benye sika ede free MPs na say candidates no enche na say yesi ya be no man no akoso nipa kro na yebesema bremu MPs no so mo ntimi anya hwia na nipa na boka ansa na woto abano dia ma no na oba sa sika no ontua in the let us rethink as citizens na megidi say yesi ya na ebeboa na sa ne na all kan say ohwe NPP political party no mu there is no problem between His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the national executives. Yes, sana ono okai nti yen de ye Ghana fo ye hwede ebekoso na de basabasa ye beba na ye mpese eno ebeba nti minia wakasa wakire na adwen ozu adwen kira obeka edi afasi mu ihu ene sei. Just go to the comment section na kire wadwe meselo unya subscribe ya na subscribe like video na share ma woni bi no nso unya bi enhwe mere wase mere wo ebehye bi sisi ye de makro. Bye bye.